All right, guys, just real quick. This is going to be your test review for the solving linear the systems of equation assessment. Please do me a favor, go back, watch this more than once. I would highly recommend it. Okay, very, very highly recommend it. So what I'm going to do is I'm basically going to walk you through the test, let you know what's going to be on it. These questions are going to look very, very similar to the questions that are going to be on the test. So paying close attention, taking good notes would be very beneficial. Okay. All right, here we go. First one. It says find the solution to the equation. Write it as a point. Okay. So the first one's going to look like this. You're going to have 2x minus 10 y equals 2. And then we have another one that says negative x plus 8y equals 5. Now, if you guys remember, when we were doing this in class, we told you guys you could either use elimination, you could use substitution, or you could just graph it. If you want to put all of these equations into y equals, if you want to put it into slope-intercept form and just use Desmos, by all means, please, please, please feel free to do so. Okay, but I'm just going to, real quick, I'm going to go through them very, very fast, just to simplify them as much as I can, okay? Just to show you how to do these. All right, so this one, what I would do is, I see this 2x and I see this negative x. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply the bottom equation times 2. And what's going to happen is when I distribute, that's going to become negative 2x. That's going to become positive 18y. And that's going to become a positive 10. Okay? So now the x's cancel. Negative 10 plus 18 is 8y. And then 2 and 10, that is 12. I felt like I did something wrong. Oh, shoot. Okay. Sorry about that. I was like, something's not coming out right. All right, that's 16y. 2 times 8 is 16. Okay. Okay, let me start over. So you got negative 10 plus 6y, or plus 16y, that is 6y. Okay, that makes more sense. You got 6, you got 6, you got y equals 2. Okay? I'm not going to delete it and start over. Mistakes happen. At least I was able to catch it. Okay, so here we go. Y is 2. I'm going to pick one of the equations. I'm actually going to choose this equation. This equation actually looks the easiest. Negative x plus 8y equals 5. Y is 2. So I'm going to take my y and put it right there. Negative x plus 8, parentheses, there's my 2, equals 5. 8 times 2 is 16. Move the 16 over, minus 16. So now we got negative x equals negative 11. We can't have a negative letter, so I'm going to divide by negative 1. Negative 1. X equals 11. So my answer is going to be 11, 2. That is substitution, okay? Substitution. Again, I apologize for the mistake, but it happens, okay? There will not be any decimals on this test, so we want to make sure that if you get a decimal, something's not quite right, okay? So always go back and double check your work. All right. Hope you're good. All right, let me go on to another one. If you need to, again, this is a review. Go back and rewatch it. Go back and rewatch it, okay? Please, please, please. All right, here we go. The second one that pops up looks like this. 4x plus 7y equals 50. And then we've got negative 4x plus 3y equals 10, okay? Obviously, we look at this one. This one's already kind of set up for you. It's nice and easy. 4x, negative 4x, we're going to combine those. Those cancel. That is 10y equals 60. Divide by 10. Divide by 10. Y equals 6. Okay? I get to pick an equation. If you're anything like my classes, we would probably choose this one because everything is positive. Okay? So we got 4x plus 7y equals 50. They always want to substitute in for the y, or they always want to substitute in for the positive one. So we got 4x plus 7, parentheses, here comes the y, there's your 6, equals 50. Now we just do the math. 7 times 6 is 42. Subtract 42. 4x equals 8. Divide by 4, divide by 4, x equals 2. So my xy, 2, 6. Okay, once again, if you just want to put these in y equals and graph them, it will still work, okay? Nothing is saying that you have to do it this way. There is nothing on this test that's going to say, you know what, you got the right answer, but you didn't do it my way, so it's wrong. We're never going to tell you that, okay? So just do what you need to do to get to the right answer. Okay, let's do another one. Let's see. We've got one that looks like this. Let's do this one in purple. X equals 5y minus, let's go 1. And let's go 2x plus 5y equals 28. Okay, this one we've already got one set up. It says x equals, okay? This says x equals, so I'm going to take this entire thing and plug it in for the letter x. So it looks like this, 2, and this is how we did it in my class, parentheses, plus 5y equals 28. If you notice, all I did was I took the x out and left a parentheses. So I'm going to put the 5y minus 1. I took this and plugged it in right there, 5y minus 1. So now, we distribute. I get 10y minus 2, and then nothing else changed. 28. 10y plus 5y, that is 15y. And let's go ahead and move the 2. Make it plus 2. So 15y equals 30. I added that together. Divide by 15, divide by 15, y equals 2. Okay? So now we just take this 2 and bring it back to the other side. 5 times 2, there's my 2, minus 1. 5 times 2 is 10, minus 1, y equals 9. So my xy, oh shoot, this is x equals. Sorry, I was like, why do I have 2 y's? All right, so my x is 9, my y is 2. Okay? That is substitution. All right. Again, if you don't like doing substitution, just make everything y equals. Make everything y equals and just put it into Desmos and graph it. Okay, it will work, I promise. Okay. All right, you have one that looks like this. Y equals 5x plus 1. And then you have y equals 2x plus 4. I'm not even going to go through this one. I'm just going to tell you, if you will just open up Desmos and graph that, it's going to give you the answer. Okay, just open up Desmos, graph it, it will give you the answer. Okay, hopefully that is simple enough. Okay, all right, next one. Just want to make sure that this thing is still recording, and it is. Okay, good. All right, let's go to, you're going to have a couple of word problems, so let me check one of them with you. It's going to look something like this. At a Holiday Valley ski resort, skis cost $16. So it's going to set you up like this. Skis are $16. And probably snowboards, yep. Snowboards are $19. I'm going to call this X and I'm going to call this Y. Okay, let's just throw that out there. Okay. If 28 people rented on a certain day and the resort brought in $478, okay, how many skis, how many snowboarders, okay? So we have two different totals. One of them is we had 28 people and we had $478, okay? So we got two different values, okay? Keep that in mind. We have two different values. When we're talking about how many people were there, I don't really care what each one of them cost. I really don't care. I want to know how many people were there, okay? We had two types of people. We had people that were skiing, we had people that were snowboarding. So the two people that were doing that were X plus Y equals 28 people. I don't care what the snowboards cost when we're talking about the total number of people. That doesn't matter. Now, when we start talking about the total value, 478, now we can figure it out. We have 16X plus 19y. Now it matters because $16 skis, $19 snowboards, $478. Okay, so we got two different values. One is the number of people, one is the total number of money that I spent, or total amount of money that I spent, okay? So hopefully you understand the difference. There's a couple of different ways you can solve this. You can make both of them y equals, like I always said, and you can just graph them. You can go x, y, it'll tell you the situation. For me, what I'm going to do is I'm going to, again, there's no right or wrong way to do this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this equation y equals negative x plus 28. All I did was I moved the positive x to the right side. I subtracted x from both sides. Okay, so here's my new y. Right? Okay, and as I do that, watch what happens. I've got 16x plus 19. The y is now gone. I'm going to plug it in. Negative x plus 28 equals 478. Basically, what I just did was I plugged it in right there. Okay, I plugged it in right there. All right, 16x, distribute 19 times negative x, that's negative 19x. 19 times 28. Let me do some math real quick. Where's my calculator? I should have had that one ready to go, but I didn't. Okay, calculator. 19 times 28, 532 equals 478. Now we just do the math. That's negative 3x. Positive 532 becomes a negative 532. So 532 minus 478. 454. So negative 54. Okay? That's negative 54. So here we go. Negative 3. Negative 3. X equals 3 into that's 18. So we've got 18 skiers. Okay? We've got 18 skiers. So if X is 18, we had 28 people total. That should tell you we have 10 snowboarders. Okay? So negative X. So negative 18 plus 28, y equals 10. There it is. 18 and 10. Make sure you know which one is which. You have to label. You have to label. So you need to know the difference, okay? Please, please, please. That will, if you switch the answers around, it will count you wrong. It will count you wrong. All right. Here's another one. By the way, if you don't know how to set these word problems up, it doesn't matter if you know how to do them or not. If you don't know how to set them up, let me give you a little hint, by the way. If they told you that 28 people are there, make sure that your two answers add up to be 28, please. Okay? Don't give me 145 and negative 8. First of all, how are you going to have negative 8 people? Okay? It doesn't make any sense. Your two answers need to add up to be 28 people. Okay? If you need to guess and check and get it right and take your time doing it, please do that. Okay? Make sure your answer makes sense. All right. Let's do this. We got another one. Make sure I have time. Yep, I've got a little time. So here we go. 2y equals 6x minus 10. And then we got y equals 3x minus 5. Okay? All right. This one's already in y equals. If I make this one y equals, I just divide by 2. Y equals 3x minus 5. If you notice the equations match, that means they're going to be infinite. Okay, they're going to be infinite because if you graph both of them, they're going to be on the same line. Okay. I'm looking at some of the questions that we have. Guys, some of these questions came straight off of your reviews, by the way. Or came straight off some of the worksheets that we did. So it's not like we're trying to be secretive about this at all. Okay. Grace has 52 coins. She's got 52 coins. Worth a total of $11.95. Okay? She has quarters and she has dimes. Okay? What does she have? She has quarters and she has dimes. There are 52 of them. The value doesn't matter when we're asking you about the total number of coins. You just need to make sure that your total number of coins adds up to be 52, okay? Now, the last part, the value. What's a quarter worth? 0.25. What's a dime worth? 0.10 dime. Now, here's what I always tell people. If you want to get rid of the decimal, it is fine, okay? You can get rid of the decimal. So you can move the decimal over. But if you do that, if you move the decimal twice by multiplying by 100, you need to make sure, and this is what I tell my class, if you do something to one part of an equation, you have to do it to the other side, okay? So if I move this equation, and I want to make that 25q, just to get rid of the decimal, I got to do the same thing over here, 10d, and now this is 1,195. We just moved the decimal twice to the right. If you're going to do that, you got to do the same thing to every point of the equation, okay? I hope that makes sense. All right. So how are we going to do this? Let's take this top equation. Watch what I do here. I'm going to take this top equation and I'm going to multiply it times negative 10. Why do I do that? Check out what happens. That negative 10 is now going to make that a negative 10q. That's going to make that a negative 10d. Hey, look what just happened. Positive 10, negative 10. What's going to happen? They cancel. And that negative 10, that's going to make this a negative 520. I just multiplied 10 times that, okay? Again, don't worry about the big numbers. You have calculators, okay? 15q equals 675. Okay, so we divide by 15. We divide by 15. Quarters equals 675. That's 45. 45 quarters. Okay? So if I have 45 quarters and I've got 52 total coins, that should tell you that we have a total of 7 dimes. There you go. My two numbers add up to be 52. Okay, so that should work. Okay, please make sure your answers make sense. If you need to go back and watch this, I know that's a lot. If you just kind of zoom through that and you're just watching and not really paying attention, you probably don't have a clue what I just did. Go back and watch it again. Go back and and then watch it again. And then watch it one more time just for the fun of it, okay? Yep, I've got time for one more. Let's see what we got. Here's another one where the y's are going to cancel out, just like the one earlier where the x's canceled out. And here's one with the y's canceling out. I'm not going to do that one for you. You should be able to do that. All right, here we go. There's a question. We had this on one of our worksheets. It says Brittany and Lynn each earn a base salary. Brittany earns $2,000. Brittany earns $2,000. That's what she starts with, so that's going to be my y-intercept, plus 0.15x. She earns a 15% commission. Lynn, okay, this is Brittany. Lynn is going to earn, what is it? $2,200 plus a 10% commission. At what point will they earn? At what point will it be the same? All you have to do is, are they both in y equals? Yes. Put them in Desmos and just graph it, okay? And just find the point where they cross. You're looking for the x number. We're looking for the x. At what point are they going to be equal to each other? You need to find the x number. Whatever the x number is, that's what you're looking for, okay? Please. By the way, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 questions on this test, okay? 2 of them are worth 2 points each. The rest of them are worth 1 point. There are 11 points total possible on this test, okay? Please go back and watch it again. And then watch it again. And then maybe watch it a third time or whatever, okay? You need to pay attention to this thing because we've worked hard to try to give you a review that goes pretty close to the test, okay? So please make sure that you're ready, okay? Come see me or Coach Scheffler, and we will, or Coach Wells, sorry. But come see us and we will happily come and help you out, okay? You've got to ask questions. Come see us during advisory and we will do what we can. Cool? All right, good luck, guys.